All right, y'all. What's going on, man? It's Black Balloon. Y'all already know, man. We up early with it. We coming back with another video. Hope y'all doing well. Today is Friday. Y'all already know what's going on, man. So look, someone sent me this clip, right? And it was from one of the Island Boys. Y'all already know who they are. This is the one, his name is Fly Soldier. And this is his most recent post on his Instagram. So, it's been kind of like going around YouTube a little bit, going around TikTok, and he was talking about OnlyFans and basically selling his soul, for $1.5 million a month. They were talking about his OnlyFans being deleted because of him kissing his brother. Y'all remember that? They were wet lip kissing each other. And I just wanted to start the video off with this and kind of get this out the way, because after this, I want to go into Clifton Powell. Y'all know Pinky from Friday. He's played in a bunch of stuff, but a lot of people know him as Pinky, right, from Friday. So he went on the Art of Dialogue and he talked about turning down a bunch of zesty roles and some of the weird stuff that Hollywood producers have tried to put him through. And so since it's Friday, I was like, why not? I've been wanting to react to this clip for a couple of days now. So it's Friday. Why not go ahead and have Pinky, you know, be the gist of this video, right? But first, let's just hop straight into it. Check this out real quick, and then I want to show y'all like two more clips. All right, check this out, y'all.
You guys still do OnlyFans? How long have you guys been on OnlyFans?
No, we don't do OnlyFans anymore.
Y'all were on there for a little bit, right?
We were on there for like 8 months, something like that.
They got banned.
Why did he get banned?
The feds came to OnlyFans and said, it's either you're gonna have these two twins racking up
billions
millions
of dollars,
or your multi-billion-dollar company is gonna be took down because we kissed each other and they had a problem with it.
Why did you guys kiss each other, if you don't mind me asking?
That's the devil right there. That was the devil, and that was greed.
So you guys kissed each other for the greed?
For the money. Because I'm gonna tell you this right now, I was making 1.5 million a month.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Just for kissing each other?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Do you guys feel bad that the video's still on the internet, or like that people still talk about it?
No.
I go through my day, don't care.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I knew my OnlyFans was gonna get banned because I felt guilty. I'm like, there's no way in hell God is not gonna allow this.
Sometimes it takes him taking it away,
Right.
But isn't it crazy how what you said, you guys kissed each other for the sake of money and greed, and it still didn't even fulfill the hole in your heart?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Somebody said nothing wrong with a bromance. Yeah, y'all already know these guys were the most corny, cringe, wannabe rappers, you know, image devils that I've ever seen in my life. They are image devils. All the tattoos on their face, what they did in order to just create some attention, get both of them over 1 million followers. They've been what they are for years now, since like 2020. They've been on the scene. I mean, cringe. They are so cringe. And these are the type that will do anything for money. And they did it. I mean, maybe one of them is coming to the truth, because he's the one that, the Fly Soldier one, he's the one that's talking more about God, more about the devil, more about the things that him and his brother did in order to create the attention that they gained. I can't name a song from them, but they were all over the internet at one point. And let me play y'all these couple of clips of them talking about, they sold their soul for what, they gained, right? So let me play y'all this clip real quick. I think this is about a year ago, where he's talking about how he was tricked by the devil and talking about his brother. It's not too late for him to give his life to God. Check this out, y'all.
I didn't do nothing wrong. That's how you know the man above is trying to change my life and trying to make me better. He forgave me. He forgave me. Sure, like that. He forgave me, homie. And I hope Red takes the right steps in life too, man. I love Red, man. I don't got nothing against him. I don't know why he's against me and stuff like that, but you feel me? Red, you under a demonic attack too, bro. He came after you too, man. I've been trying, I've been trying to talk to you and stuff like that, but you ain't really, you're not really listening to me like that, bro. I'm being serious, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Change your way before it's too late. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I love you. I'm telling you, bro. Your life will be so much better. The devil is what causes addictions and everything. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, y'all. So about a week, not today, but about a week ago, I sold my soul. You understand what I'm saying? And ever since I sold my soul, I haven't been happy ever since. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo, man. Y'all ain't gotta believe me. It is what it is. I'm not even capping. It's because, listen, I had to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I had to do it because I was trying to make it, like, you feel me? Like, and as of when I was, selling my soul, like, there was things that I could sacrifice about and stuff like that, and I sacrificed myself. I could have sacrificed anybody, but when you sell your soul, you gotta sacrifice someone that you really love, and I sacrificed myself and stuff like that. I sold my soul for people to pay attention.
Do you feel like you sold your soul?
I had to. Do I feel like I'm blessed from God? Yes. Am I a God-fearing man? Yes. Do I go to church here and there? Yes. Do I believe in God? Yes. Unfortunately, I feel like I've done some sinful things.
There you have it. I remember this. I know y'all remember this. Now, obviously, they say that this photo was AI generated. I think it hit the internet for the first time back in 2023. It's pretty crazy. Not gonna lie. The resemblance is pretty on point. I mean, they look just like, these facial structures, the nose of the one with the little wing on his forehead, you could tell that this is him right here. Like if this is, really them, I mean, wow. It is spot on. If this is somehow an AI generated picture, man, they did excellent, because this really looks like the younger version of the Island Boys with Epstein. And we talked about this before, way back in one of those Epstein videos. We brought this up, but it just goes to show you, like, it's crazy for these two twins who have no musical talent, anything like that. And they're the ones, whose name pops up with Jeffrey Epstein. They come out of nowhere, somehow get famous. If you want to call what they got famous for nothing. Image devils. That's what I'm gonna start calling them. People that do anything that look like they from the culture or this and that. Image devils. It's funny that they names get tied back to somehow being in a picture with Epstein as little boys. Ain't that funny? They come out of nowhere. Little image devils, and somehow get tied back to this picture that's supposedly AI generated on the island. A island, maybe not the island that the Lolita Express travels to. That, very interesting, y'all. Very interesting. So we're gonna go ahead and flip the video, all right? But it's kind of sticking on that same topic, obviously, with the Island Boys admitting and kissing each other, wet mouth, kissing your own blood, for some money, selling your soul for 1.5. Kissing your brother is crazy. So let's go ahead and get into this clip, y'all. It's about 6 minutes long. And this is Clifton Powell. Very interesting right here, y'all. Check this out.
Have you ever turned down a role that could have boosted your career, but you turned it down because it went against what you believe in?
Judging from my resume, I haven't turned down much.
The thing that I want people to understand is a lot of the smaller movies that you see me in uh, probably was a friend of mine or a producer who hired me when I had no money, or they come highly recommended. I've been offered some different types of roles that I didn't take. I've did a TV series where they wanted me to play the neighborhood coon, and I walked off of that. But most of the time, when I read a script, if I like it, I do it. You know, I don't let my when you get to a certain level, when you get to my level and above, your agents kind of tell you what to do, and I don't let anybody tell me what to do. I'm I've worked my ass off, and I do what I want to do. Sometimes, like say for instance, I'm going to speak on this movie because I caught a lot of flack for doing this movie, Women That Aren't Loosed. Now, how I got that role, and please, everybody that's listening, understand, I never read that script. Reuben Cannon, who put me in Selma, Lord Selma, he put me in Buffalo Soldiers, and he put me in Why Do Fools Fall in Love. He called me on a Thursday and said, "Hey, Cliff, I need you tomorrow for this role. My main actor dropped out. I need you." And I came in because that's one of my partners. And he hired me when I had nothing. He saw the talent. And so when I read the script, when I got to the set, and when I read the part about the little girl, I made them restructure that. I said, I don't think it's necessary for me to have to touch that little girl. Let's just close the door and we hear, maybe hear scream or something. I'm not doing that. Now, on the flip side, I wouldn't have taken that role if I read the script, because I have a daughter and I know how that is perceived. But after we did the movie, we went around to a lot of places and had panel discussions to help women who have been physically, mentally, and spiritually abused. So something good came out of that, but that's not a role I would have picked for myself.
So they wanted you to play a neighborhood coon. Tell me more about that.
It was a TV series. It's a TV series called Simon on the WB. I think it was the WB network. I can't remember. But the week before the show came out, they was scanning all the new shows. And in the Ebony Junior magazine, they said Clifton Powell starring as the neighborhood coon in a new TV show called Simon. And so when I got there and they wanted me to do some coonish type things, I said I wasn't going to do it. So I met with the big white guy who ran the show and had about 7 shows on. And he basically said, "I bet you will do this." He said, "I bet you would do this movie if it was a William Friedkin film." Now, if anybody want to know who William Friedkin is, he directed The Exorcist. So basically he said, "I bet you would do this role if it was a William Friedkin movie." I said, "I bet you I wouldn't."
It's crazy off back. You get that typical Hollywood treatment of a lot of black actors, obviously trying to make him play a coon, the neighborhood coon, which involves doing coonery, you know what I'm saying, which is a direct, you know, I mean, you just trying a black man. You want him to play a coon. You can get some black people to play that role. But I like the way Clifton Powell speak. You could tell he stand on certain principles and he not allowing himself to, bend over and do certain things, especially with the role where he was talking about he would have had to touch a young girl in some kind of way and related it back to him having a daughter, saying that's not how I'm gonna get down, right? But check this out, y'all.
And I think I was fired before I even left my seat, but they still had to pay me $70,000 for the 7 episodes. But I would have never taken that role for myself.
I know when I interviewed Frejo Story, he told me that he turned down the role in The Wire because they wanted him to kiss a man.
I got a audition maybe a year ago for Mr. Black. I don't think he read the script. So I read the script and I called him. I said, "This guy, this the gangster, he has this guy named Raphael or somebody hanging around the bar all the time." I said, "Who is that guy?" So he called casting and he said, "Well, they kind of like lovers." I'm like, "That's not gonna work out." I'm not I'm not homophobic. I've gotten a lot of flack for saying something in the heat of the moment. I'm not homophobic, but I have no problems with transgender people or gay people. I don't care what color they are. I have no problems with, I'm not sexist or racist or any of that. But I have boundaries for me as a person, which makes me uncomfortable or comfortable that I just don't cross. And it's not militant. It's just that certain things I'm just not comfortable with. I'm a heterosexual man. I'm not comfortable with kissing a man whether I got to do it for a role. And I commend actors who can handle that inside of their psyche. I'm not wired that way. And that's just me. And I know that, like I played a few roles where, like Civil Brand, where I had to kind of be brutal with women. I would never take one of those roles again. And I enjoyed that movie, but that guy was brutal, but that's not something I would seek out for myself now.
I mean, you've been doing movies for decades. I mean, why would they offer you something like that at this point in your career?
I don't think they think, well, this guy was the guy was a gangster. So it's, after you see me play Cuddy, I became like the number one go-to gangster guy in Hollywood, but there's certain boundaries that I have, I've never seen a gay gangster, but I'm sure they have been. There was a guy out of DC named Wayne Perry who was bisexual. He was a gangster, biggest killer in DC. I just read about him. I wouldn't play him because there's a scene where one guy walks in and sees him having sex with a man, and I'm not doing that. But they may come and say, man, but we needed a guy that's rough and tough and can play those rough and tough roles. I'm like, I'm not doing that. That's just me, So I don't necessarily, when I read something I don't like it, I don't give it a second thought. Just say I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I heard about that, man. I seen an interview with Sean Branch where, he told a story about how he walked in on Wayne Perry with a man. So yeah, it's crazy, man.
And you see, it's like even being an established actor in Hollywood, they still want to play with your masculinity. They still want to see you embarrass yourself. They still want to see you be, less of a man. They still want you to play these roles that involve you going against your moral. It don't matter if you are acting in a movie. I mean, just the fact that you have to, kiss a man, you have to participate in it. Their job, really good actors, is to make it look as real as possible. You know, I mean, you go into the method acting thing, this stuff is like really happening. I'm sure in certain movies it gets past the point of acting like you're really doing this to sell this role. And that's why I was saying, like, I like the way Clifton Powell was talking. I've never heard him, honestly, I've never seen him speak in an interview. I was really surprised that Art of Dialogue got him on and he decided to talk about this stuff. There's also another clip, he did an entire interview, but the channel is releasing it in sections. And there was another clip where he talked about the KKK, talked about the racism that he's experienced on certain, sets of movies. And like I said, it's just kind of like the typical Hollywood treatment of a lot of black actors. Um, and it was real cool to hear some of the stuff that, he's experienced in Hollywood. Very interesting. Very interesting. Now, I do think there was a movie, and this is what I saw from a comment. So I'm not completely sure. But I think in this movie, he did play a role that was Zest. And I think this movie came out in 1999. I'm not sure what the extent of the role was, but I saw this from a comment, so y'all would have to let me know. I've never seen this movie. I never even heard of the breaks until someone said he did play a Zest role back in 1999. So I'm not sure what the extent of the movie was, what kind of Zest role was it. But y'all let me know in the comments if y'all have seen this movie. This movie was with Loretta Devine, Lamont Bentley, who was tragically, I believe, sacrificed as well from the Brandy. I also believe he was sacrificed. I think I talked about him a while back on the channel as well. Because we know a lot of people were cursed from them early 90s shows, right? So, yeah, y'all, that'll wrap it up for today, man. I wanted to end it off with the Clifton Powell clip. I thought it was very interesting. First time ever hearing him on an interview. Y'all already know I had to get on here and talk about it, man. We'll be back tomorrow with another good video. Y'all already know what's going on, man. Hey, 30 for 30. I told y'all I'm coming through with it, man. Y'all run the likes up. I got y'all. So with that being said, y'all, it's Black Balloon, and I'm going to see y'all soon, all right? I'm out.